This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
Okay, Chair, I think in the very first place, Team Opposition actually doesn't understand this resolution. What they have to come and show us from their side of the world is how this has not actually undermined, but then they just show us how effective it will be. I don't think that will count. And to start with, they tell us that, you know what, they came up during COVID-19, bring about things like apps which were created, and then they solved like societal challenges. But Chair, I want to put this on table. Currently in status quo, we have very many problems. The very problem I want to put onto you is like some sort of like limited community unity. Because look, people are actually working on this digital social entrepreneurship just as individuals. They actually don't do it as a community. Now look, how is this actually happening? We tell them that, you know what, in our world, we see things like, we tell them that in our world, we have things like economical exclusion, things like unemployment. Okay, look, how is this actually happening? We see that according to the Equini blog and then the Wikipedia, they actually show that around 357.3 million people don't actually have like access to internet. And I see that this is not actually bringing the most community unity. We see that yes, they may be like, yes, it has promoted like sort of development, but then at a point in case when not every person in society is being involved on grounds of, let me say they can't afford, on grounds of they can't access, according to that statistic, they tell us that they actually achieve something like from the grassroots. But how are you achieving something like from the grassroots, yet in the long run, like what you are doing is just basically on social media? I don't think this will actually count. It's for us, yes, they are actually like sort of good, but then why we actually against of them is like undermining the economic undermining the traditional bit of it. It leads to things like individualism, because look, everyone is doing things like as an individual, and in the long run we don't see any sort of like community development. And what my first speaker tells you, that we are looking for middle class income society. What do I mean? I mean that each and every person should be sort of like involved in what they are doing, and then they can best achieve it. But at the point in case when they are actually using something that is not accessible by everyone, I don't think they will be getting the best of like middle class income society. Not just having a world where we have only one people in an area, only one person in an area who is rich and the rest are poor. I don't think this is justified. It looks like the rich won't be even asleep just because the poor are just there living, because they will be on threat that these people are going to steal from them. And that I clearly show you that this comes from the individualism, that it's only one person who actually does his own work, but then it is not as a community. That's what they actually live out, and on a set of like low resource pooling. Because we tend to realize that in Kenya, when they are working out on water and sanitation, few labor and few cash inputs, like 3 out of 5 is actually gotten from the people, and this is from youthcafe.com. We tend to realize that this comes because it is only individuals that look at themselves in their own world. But then in our world, we tell you that, you know what, they are limiting like community community engagement bit of it. Because look, why is it this way? There are only people like on social media doing their own work, and then leaving the fact that the community should actually be like involved. Because look, on things like which are international, like Facebook, where these people like interact, I don't think this will actually work. Because look, people, one from Kampala, one from, it does not bring even about like community engagement. But at the point in time where we say that they ignore our community engagement, I don't think they will be getting like the best out of it. We need community wealth in this way around, that people work together and then they get the best that they need. I rest.
The team that wins this debate is the team that has the best efficiency of traditional community-based economic system. For something to undermine another thing, it has to lead to loss of stability, it has to lead to decrease in its effectiveness, and it also has to lead to increase in vulnerability of it. In our case, we are trying to show that digital social entrepreneurship rather enhances traditional community-based economic systems. But then I'll expound further on that after my rebuttal. Affirmative one, from their speech, please wait. They come and tell us that people come from People come from different places, and it's not being sustainable because it has a way it creates inclusivity. But now we are concentrating. But no, we're not looking. If you look at, okay, let me give like a case study from globalization. What makes globalization so effective is the fact that people communicate from different places. Like they get to communicate with each other without actually getting to see each other like physically, right? So if you, please wait. If you integrate this in the traditional community-based economic tourism, you find that it does not create individualism, but it rather has a way it creates unity. It creates more unity compared to what we're calling social bonding. They come and tell us that they come and give principles of social bonding, and they explain it in a way that communities come together through unity. But no, the best way for communities to come together is if they talk to each other in a broader way, less than how, because stop badgering in my case. Then they also come and tell us that they come and talk about digital illiteracy in a way that it's not going to be sustainable. Digital social entrepreneurship is not going to be sustainable because of digital illiteracy. But in our case, we are catering for both. What we are looking at is to make them work hand in hand in one another, whereby digital social entrepreneurship is going to be used to enhance traditional community. It's going to be used to enhance traditional community-based economic systems. Then they come and tell us that in our first speech, we did not describe digital social development as a way of only social media platforms. There are other innovative ways people come up with, digital innovative ways people generate to develop each other. Moving on, in ways which digital social development enhances traditional community-based economic systems. It improves the foundation. If you look at, we talked about apps like Chikubo Online, whereby this app was specifically made to create a broader way for the social services that are being provided in Chikubo to each other people. Then we also think that DSEs increase stability by providing platforms for small-scale businesses. It also enhances the effect. It reduces vulnerability as well. This is one of the ways that makes it innovative by solving challenges in the system. With that, I beg to raise my case.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.